There it is.
Oh crap. I kind of think I'm stuck. Ah! What is up, ladies and gents? It's your boy G here, Hybrid BMX. Welcome to this Tuesday edition in the middle of January. Actually, the end of January. It's going to get very cold tomorrow, guys. So probably going to make a video tonight for tomorrow night. So it's going to be like a dual series. You're going to see me probably wearing the same thing, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, today's episode, we are going to be switching things up a little bit. Obviously, you guys know about the Stollen and how I was planning on building the Stollen up to be kind of the big bike that's going to be the one that's going to sell the best. But what I realized is that financially, it's the one that takes the most to put into. Financially, it's going to cost the most to build. What I ended up finding out was that the kink is actually mid-bottom bracket, and so is the Stollen. So I'm going to be taking the sealed bearings from the Stollen and dropping them into the kink in order to build a complete bike. So in this episode, we are going to be mocking up the kink to see how it all fits and how it all looks together as one whole piece and one whole bike. And then I'll be taking it apart later on today and starting to get ready to clean it and get it set up for paint and prep and get ready to go out the door. I just needed to make a profit is what I figured out. And I think I'm going to make the Stollen more of a demo bike, a bike to show my craftsmanship and how good it can be if someone wants a custom bike built, or they come to me with a used bike and say, hey Greg, is there any potential in building this at an affordable price but still having it look really good and come out the way that the Stollen did. It'll be great for doing shows and stuff like that. I need to plan events and stuff like that I can go to fix people's bikes. And that's the great thing about this too, is I'm going to be learning how to true wheels and stuff like that. But we'll get into that in this episode. Let's get to mocking up this bike and taking a look at it. Okay, so I wanted you guys to see this. Wow, there's not like dust particles and stuff in the air. I just got done brushing off the bench. It's weird. But anyways, so forgive the dust particles. We're also in a basement, so that doesn't help either. But this is the kink setup. What I did find out is that this is a Miraco. I did my research on it. We'll talk about that in a second, but we're going to talk about the kink setup. This is the one we're going to be mocking up today. So we've got the bars from the Miraco. We've got the forks that were originally on this kink. We've got the Miraco / Vice part company stem that's going to be going on the kink. These are the pedals that were from the these are the pedals that are from the Stollen. I'm going to go ahead and use them. The bearings aren't that bad and the pins are really good, so it'll be a good setup. Here's the mid crank system from, or 3-piece crank system from the Stollen, which is going to be going on this. I'm also going to be keeping the snafu seat. The wheels are the 9-tooth driver from the, I think that was on the Miraco, but I was planning on putting that one on the Stollen. But instead, I'm going to be using a different wheel set, and I'll show you those in a second. I'm also going to be using the GT wheel that I was going to be using for the Stollen as well. Instead, I'm going to try to fix my old front rim and put that on the Stollen instead. That way I can get this bike, like I said, out the door quicker. Tires, I think I have one other used tire, and I'm going to be using, I think, that Maxxis as well. If not, I'll go buy a cheap tire to put on this bike. Okay, now the Miraco is the second bike that's going to be sold. This is going to be sold as like a beginner bike. What we did with this one is we kept the forks from the Miraco. These are the original Miraco forks. They're Vice forks, really, really good, or Miraco forks. These are the original cranks, and this is coming off here because it's going with a 25/9 setup. This is actually going to go on the kink. So that's going to be in a different video, guys. I'm not going to mock up a sprocket today, but that sprocket's going to go there. This sprocket is going to stay with this bike instead. This is the one from the kink. And we're going to keep the Wellgo pedals with this bike as well. Or no, we're not. We're going to keep these purple pedals with this bike because the cranks fit exactly the same. So it's American bottom bracket. The bearings are good. And the front rim I chose is the one that was on it. Again, this one just needs to be greased and fixed, and it should be all good and gravy, ready to go. The front rim should be good. The back rim is one that I had laying around that hasn't been used in a really long time, but it's just an old freewheel back end, which is nice. I mean, it needs re-greased, so I'm going to re-grease the bearings inside. It's a DK Macho hub, and it's a Sun black box rim, I believe, which I'm going to take it completely apart, repaint the spokes black, and paint the rims purple on both of these. The rims on the kink are going to be a sky blue color. I'm going to take those completely apart and then paint the wheels and then turn around and put them all back together, re-true the wheels, and they'll have sky blue wheels. We're also going to go with the sky blue stem, or we might keep it white, and the bars are going to stay black. Now coming over here to the Stollen, which is now going to become like a demo project bike, we're keeping the Stollen bars that were actually on the Miraco when I got it. They're in really good shape. They do need some cleaning, obviously. I'm keeping the stem from the. This is actually the sorry, forgive me, guys. This is actually the stem from the Miraco, but I believe it's actually a Salt, an old Salt one, so that's going to be going on the Stollen as well. This is a pair of kink forks that were, I believe, originally on this Stollen, and they are really, oh no, these were the ones that they put on the Miraco. So it's a set of kink forks. These are the ones with the cutout for the pegs. These are my old Alienations from the kink up here. I'm gonna fix this front rim, and this back rim's already been re-greased. I'm just gonna take the rim off and repaint it black. I think we're gonna stick with the raw frame. I got a lot done as far as the frame was concerned. I've been sanding it a lot, but I realized that I'm wasting my time sanding when I don't even have the components all together to put this thing together. I'm going to be buying different tires for it. Either that, or I'm planning on trying to buy, if this lady still has it for sale, when I sell the kink, I'm planning on buying a DK Helio, which also has Alienations, but they're in a red. They're like an anodized red color, and they look really awesome. And the theme I'm trying to go with the Stollen is raw, clear. Instead of doing the white blue thing, I decided it just wouldn't look good on this bike. We're going to go with raw metal cleared, and then we're going to go with the anodized red wheels if I get the DK. If not, we're going to go with black wheels. I'm going to paint the embossed S on this, and that should be the Stollen. So that being all said, let's go ahead and start mocking up the kink. Alright, ladies and gents, so first step is a loud one, an annoying one, and my wife's probably going to hate me for this, but I've got to pound out these bearings. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the ones out of the Stollen, and I got to get the cups out of the kink. So let's get that done first. Hopefully this should be pretty easy. See how we're going here, see if it's moving at all or if they're just stuck. There's probably easier ways to do this, I'm sure. But alrighty. Let's see if we're having any progress. Currently, no. I don't think we are. Let's look. Let's look and see if we're having any progress. No, not really. Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to wait on that. until later because I'll just show you guys that in another video of the mock-up. Maverick's taking a nap and I don't want to wake him up. So I'm not going to be pounding and banging and making all kinds of noise. So we'll just do a simple mock-up for now. Just forks, bars, wheels, stuff like that. It doesn't really matter anyways right now because I wasn't planning on taking the cranks off yet. So we're just going to get a basic mock-up of what this bike's going to look like. So let's do that instead of making all kinds of noise. Katie doesn't feel well anyways, and I'm sure she probably has a headache and should be making all kinds of noise while she's trying to rest. So, trying to be a courteous husband. That's a good thing to do. Happy wife, happy life. This is what I have learned. Man, tell you what, this stem bolt is very long. Okay, there we go. There's that, and there's that. There's the ass. And then we pull that off. And this is nice because this is a sealed integrated. I knew this would sell really well because of that. Because of the integrated setup. The integrated headset. Those sell really well right now. Like really, really well. Let's see, let's get this cup pressed in here first. Just seems to be struggling a little bit. There we go. There we go. Now the cup's pressed into the frame. There. Now we got a nice little lineup. Okay, get the other one pressed in. Simple as that. Okay. And then they put these little seals in to hold that in place. It's like a pinch, it's almost like a pinch ring, guys. That's how that works. It's like a little pinch ring you put on top. And then you have this. And I think I'm gonna name this video like how to mock up a bike. Because what I'm realizing is, guys, is that video-wise, I'm getting a lot more viewership from videos that are like how-to videos. So this is gonna be like how to mock up a used BMX bike for sale. So, alrighty, we'll put the spacer on. Okay, now, oh, whoopsie. Okay, let's see how quick I can actually accomplish this goal. So the idea here, guys, when you're mocking up a bike, it's called a mock-up for a reason. You're gonna take it apart. So don't go hankering down, tightening on stuff crazy or making a whole bunch of mess, because that's not gonna help you any. I'm not even gonna get crazy with it. I'm literally just gonna like almost hand tighten the bars on. I'm not even gonna really get crazy with tightening the bars down or anything. Literally everything's simple. Everything's very easy. You don't want to get crazy with it. You really don't. There's no reason to. Just take it nice and simple. Really easy peasy. Like I said, nothing crazy. And luckily I didn't go crazy with putting this on. So here we go. Here's the bars, which we're going with these like 90s style kind of bars. I like them a lot. They're like the old big bars. They're not the newer big bars. They're old school, which is kind of a cool touch. Honestly, I would have rather put the stolen bars on this, but I want the bars for the stolen. That's another thing that I'm going to have to find, guys, is a pair of bars for this beginner bike. I don't have a pair that are good, because the bars that were on this bike were tacoed pretty bad. Actually, as a matter of fact, give me just a second, I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to show you guys those bars. Now, when I say like bars are tacoed, like, look at that dent. Look at how twisted these bars are. You can see how twisted they are just by the camera angle. Look at that. It's completely bent. It's bent here, and it's bent right here too. So these bars are just not going on any bike ever again, period. So those are for the wall of shame. Those are wall of shame bars for sure. All right, guys, let's get back to mocking this up. So the next thing that you want to do is go ahead and just throw the stem right up on the bike, which I'm going to have to move it on the bench so that way it fits, so I don't knock my TV off the stand. Here, move some tools around. Move this over here a little bit more. Perfect. Okay. Now, like I said, we're just mocking it up. We're not getting crazy. We're not tightening a bunch of stuff down and doing all kinds of stupid stuff. We're just getting a basic mock-up of the bike. Make sure everything kind of lines up and looks decent and the parts make sense. So that's all we're really doing. That's all you really want to do. Is just do a simple basic mock-up, see how it's going to look, make sure everything's going to be concise and correct and make sense on this bike. And it gives you a vision too. It gives you an idea of what you're really chasing for a bike. And you'd think, well, then why'd you tear it down in the first place? Because I wouldn't have had the parts that I needed in order to do this. I was up till probably, I don't know guys, like 2 o'clock in the morning yesterday, trying to get this all sorted and put together, because I was standing on Stolen and thinking to myself, what am I doing? Like, don't get me wrong, I love sanding that bike. There's just something about it that just is soothing and relaxing and enjoyable to me. However, the issue with that is that I was not getting the other bikes completed, and I just did not have the money to build the bike that I was already working on. So let's take a look at these bars. Like I said, guys, they don't have to be perfect. All you're doing is mocking it up. You don't even have to tighten all 4 bolts. I'm going to do it anyway, just to get an idea. And that, when I take it off the bench, I don't want the bars to just kind of roll forward on me. So I'm just going to lightly tighten things down. Like I said, it's just a mock-up. It's not the end-all, be-all, perfect bike situation right now. This is just basic mocking of parts. Making sure everything fits correctly, everything works correctly. Like I said, we'll work on the cranks and stuff like that later. I'm not going to work on that right now because it's just too loud. And like I said, the kiddo's sleeping and the wife doesn't feel good and I don't want to make a bunch of noise. So that actually might even be in tomorrow's video. Just showing you guys the mock-up. Okay, that's nice and tight. We will go ahead and tighten down the stem to the forks. Try to make sure they're kind of lined up pretty decent here. Like I said, it does not have to be perfect. You're not looking after perfection when you're mocking up a bike. Just enough to give you an idea of what the bike's going to look like, all put together. That's the whole idea of mocking up a bike. Just some light, basic idea, some sense of what it's going to look like all put together. And actually, we're going to go as far as putting a tire on this rim. I'm not going to put a tube in it or anything, just a tire. Just slapping a tire on here real quick. That way I get an idea what it looks like with tires. So, as well. And this is, like I said, a Crapo tire. This is going probably a little too far for mocking, to be honest. Because you really don't need to put a tire, especially a used old tire that you're not going to use on a bike just because you're mocking it up. But I'm doing it just for the sake of doing it. Just to show you guys what it's going to look like. So, this is the point where I have to take it off the bench. So, I will film afterward after I'm done putting these wheels on. You guys have seen wheels put on a bicycle. If you don't know how to put wheels on a bicycle, grab a wrench and I will teach you on another video, or go back in one of my other videos and you can watch me take wheels off and put wheels on. So, simple as that, guys. But let me go ahead and put these wheels on and I'll take one last video of the bike minus the cranks and chain all put together. Alright, ladies and gents, so I was able to get it up on the bench after I put the wheels on it. So now you can see what it looks like complete. That's the whole idea. I mean, with the exemption of good old crankies here. But you get the idea of what... Here, let's move this up a little bit so you guys can see the bars. You can see what the bars look like. The stem, the forks. This bike looks really good this way. I like the blue with tan and the black whole thing going on. I think it looks really, really tight. We'll keep the black bars. I actually like the white stem too. I think we might keep the white stem. It kind of gives it a little bit of a different pop, but I think the wheels are going to go blue instead of black. Because I think the wheels just kind of make it go bland and boring. Also, the pedals are going to be painted blue too, so that'll be a little bit, and the sprocket, which will actually be, the sprocket's on the other side. So, yeah, this bike's going to look really cool. It's a nice mock-up, came out good, but that's going to be, it took me maybe, 7, 8, 10 minutes, something like that, to put it all together. It'll take me 5 minutes to take apart. So, but that just gives you an idea of mock-up. The next goal with this bike is going to be cleaning it all up, getting all the grease and garbage off of the frame, maybe finding some tan paint and just touching it up in spots. And the great thing about this bike is it'll probably sell somewhere in the neighborhood of, I'm going to put it up online for probably about $250. But my potential earnings on it is probably more looking around the like 175 range is what I'm thinking. And then the Miraco, from what I could tell, I mean, it's kind of a beginner bike. It'll probably go for about 150, 125, give or take. So, but this just gives you a basic mock-up of what the bike's going to look like. So, I think it looks pretty nice. I think it's halfway decent. Like I said, guys, I'm going to try to put another video together tonight for the Wednesday episode, because it's supposed to be in like the negative. It's supposed to be like negative like 35 in Erie. So this basement is literally going to be an ice box, and I do not want to work down here when it's freezing cold outside. It's just not going to work very well. So tomorrow's going to be kind of like not a day off, but a day off, because tonight is going to be the only night that I'm going to be able to do this. So late night I'll be in here mocking up these bikes, or not mocking up these bikes, but taking this bike back down and probably cleaning this frame is what this video, the next video will be. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow in the Wednesday episode. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you real soon. Deuces.